obviously when you look at the population of Reading, the majority are Latino.
Yeah.
When you look at the businesses, the majority, a good amount of them are Latino, and they're more predominantly Spanish speakers than anything else. And I started saying, and I remember also like the city making decisions, raising permits, like they were just making all these decisions, raising all these prices on permits. I remember the health permit, I think even the privilege license, the business privilege license, like lots was happening.
Mhm.
And I'm like, we're like the poor city. We're not making money. You're making all these increases, but you're not asking us how it impacts or affects us. And so I'm like, gosh, if I'm struggling, I wonder how my neighbors are doing. How are my peers in business doing? And I kind of, that's how my passion, like that's how I started getting more involved. And I remember when the health permits went up, I remember the bodegas, theirs went up to like 500. Mine went up to 270 from 160. We started rallying, we started gathering and meeting, and we started just fighting and asking and demanding the city, we wanted answers. Like, how do you come up with this figure? And do you not understand what's happening in the economy? How do you expect us to pay all this money? Mm-hmm. What are we getting in return? That's how it started for me. And not to mention that, because of my connection to community and running a community center, Mi Casa Su Casa also became that community hub. Right. It was hard for me to transition from nonprofit to for-profit, I have to say. And sometimes I even ask myself is that where I went wrong? I became this social entrepreneur versus this businesswoman. Mm-hmm. But for what it's worth, we've been here going 16 years, so I must have done something right. So, my desire to advocate and to be a voice for those that are not being heard, especially because nothing was in their language. That's what my driving force was, to be able to make a difference. And then in anything that I can participate in, when I can speak for those that couldn't speak for themselves, like I just always participated. I always said present, and I would always show up, show out. I was just present.